Cancer, welcome back to the Renaissance Tarot. Welcome to your funny and your most favorite Armenian guy, where I serve and I slay. So today, dear Cancer leashes, I'm going to be doing your twin flame reading from now until the end of January. This is going to be a general reading, so it may resonate with you and it may not. Now, dear Cancer, in this reading, I'm going to be taking a look at the main energy between you and your twin flame, past, present, and future. I'm going to clarify all the cards and get some final advice. Also, I will pull some messages of love for you. Hopefully that you've been doing well, my beautiful Cancers, and have been having a great week. We're almost done with the first month of the year, so the hardest part is almost gone. Now, the challenge and the energy between you and your twin flame, dear Cancer, is the Five of Wands. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, you have the Knight of Cups. So, dear Cancer, it looks like there is some sort of a conflict that's been going on between you and your twin flame. Five of Wands here can indicate there might be a disagreement that happened between you and your twin flame and you both have been separated. You and your twin flame also could come from different cultures and backgrounds. It looks like there is an unfinished business that is calling your attention to see what kind of a solution do you see yourself giving to this situation. We're going to clarify this and we're going to find out in a moment. In the recent past, you have the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. In the recent past, dear Cancer, it looks like that there was a situation here that came to an end between you and your twin flame. I feel like there was a lot of history that you and your twin flame created, but something here was blocking this relationship from moving forward. The twin flame journey can be very intense. Okay, it's not for the weak. You already know about this if you're watching this. So I feel like there was a very painful ending. Okay, there was a sense of betrayal. Someone here that you were dealing with, they were not really being consistent with you. We're going to clarify this. In the present moment, you have the Eight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. Now, your main focus here is your stability, your money, your career, your prosperity. And at the same time, I think that because you have been in separation from your twin flame, could have been a divorce that might have happened. I feel like a lot of you are trying to overcome some really serious inner wounds. There is something that your twin flame has awakened within you and you have awakened within them. You are actually overcoming some kind of a past traumatic experience. There is something about abandonment. I know that these things may be sensitive, but please use your discernment, your Cancer, so you know what I'm talking about, but you are healing from that. This abandonment here has a lot to do with your family from the past, okay? So there is something that this twin flame has been really showing you ever since they came into your life. In the near future, you have the World, Page of Swords, and the Page of Wands. In the near future, there is a chapter that is coming to an end. And this chapter here could mean that I feel like this conflict could come to an end because it's been going for so long. So in the near future, somebody here needs to take some kind of an initiative for this situation to come to an end. At the bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming is a lot of love with the Knight of Cups, okay? So let's get into your reading and let's clarify everything for you. So, dear Cancer, I'm going to clarify the main challenge and the main energy, which is the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands, dear Cancer, is clarified by the King of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Devil. Some of you are dealing with the Capricorn. Maybe you are not, but I think a lot of you are dealing with the Capricorn. Could be a Taurus, Virgo, could be any other sign, of course, but there is something here that's been really toxic, okay, first of all. Now, the Five of Wands here indicates disagreements, misunderstanding, and I think that this is a situation with your twin flame that's been super toxic. For many of you, you're dealing with someone that your twin flame could be a business person, business owner. They are very much focused on money, focused on their own stability. There is indeed a very strong attraction with the Devil. There is two people that are dancing in the flames. So it's a very strong connection, but at the same time, there is too much hostility, there is too much disagreements going on, and there also could be, I'm just going to say this is not going to resonate with everyone. With the Empress in this case, I feel like that there is a lack of sympathy and empathy towards one another, and there could be a third party situation between you and your twin flame. And this third party could be a mother, could be anything else, could be a friend, relative. Now, in the recent past, this situation here came to an end very unexpectedly and it was very painful. The Ten of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Hierophant. I feel like that someone here walked away from their commitment to you. Okay, so you have the Hierophant here and the Eight of Cups. You also had a lot of confusion whether this person was truly your twin flame or not. You did ask a lot of questions. You did have a lot of, I'm seeing here a Cancer that had big question marks above their head. So for many of you, I feel like that there was a lack of commitment here. I think that this person was unable to fully commit to you. There were a lot of commitment issues. Eight of Swords, you kind of felt trapped in the past, dear Cancer, and how to get out of this situation. The Eight of Swords is clarified by the Death card, the Nine of Swords, and the Queen of Wands. In the recent past, for many of you, did go through a major dark night of the soul transformational phase. I think that something here started shifting in your life in the recent past. For many of you, a lot of you realized that, you know what, I'm not going to stay in this state of mind. I need to change something about my life. I need to start working towards improving myself. And that's one of the biggest lessons that most people miss. They miss out on that when it comes to a twin flame journey, because people think that, it's an easy journey. It's not. But once you learn the lesson, once you really learn how to alchemize, I do believe that there is a lesson here that needs to be learned and needs to be acknowledged. So in the recent past, some of you really started stepping into your power. You took charge of this situation. The change was very difficult and it was very stressful for many of you, but I do see here you overcoming that, okay? Now, the Seven of Pentacles in the recent past is clarified by the Fool, the Ace of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. For many of you, I think that you gave yourself a chance, and I'm going to put it that way. A lot of you gave yourself a chance to live, to create, to have a brand new beginning, to work towards your abundance, to work towards your career, your improvement. And you and your twin flame, I feel like you both split it ways. You went into this avenue, they went into that avenue. So a lot of differences, okay? Different choices, different paths. Now, in the present moment, Eight of Pentacles, a lot of you are focused on career. With this twin flame journey here, I think that you are also committed to working things out with them, but you are not being pushy, you are not being forceful. So the Eight of Pentacles is clarified by the Tower, the Strength, and the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you also could be a Leo with dealing with the Leo. I feel like that for a lot of you, you really want to bring this relationship into a major transformation slowly. The person you are dealing with moves very slowly. The person you are dealing with, Cancer, tends to be very calculated, articulated. Okay, the Moon here, your intuition is very strong. This is the card of a Cancer, by the way. So a lot of you are realizing that, I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to let everything happen organically. I think that there is also a lot of, like I said, family issues that are being healed, family wounds that may be opened up because of this twin flame. Ten of Pentacles is clarified by the Ten of Cups, family, the Four of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. Yeah. This twin flame that came into your life, Cancer, it's not going to resonate with everyone. Again, I do want to say. But remember when I was saying about healing, right? The Four of Swords, that's the healing card. So for many of you, there is something about this twin flame connection that there is something that has been revealed to you about the past, about your upbringing, about your childhood. A lot of you also grew up with certain limiting beliefs and a belief system. Maybe you had a hard time trusting love. Maybe you had a hard time trusting people. You also might have gone through different tumultuous relationships. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there. I know that it can be challenging, dear Cancer, but I feel like in the present moment, you're taking a time out, you're working on yourself, you're open to resolving this conflict here, okay, with the Five of Pentacles. There could be also financial challenges that might be going on between you and this twin flame of yours. So the Five of Pentacles is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, and the Moon. A lot of you are making an important decision here. This decision that you are making, dear Cancer, has a lot to do with your future. Some of you are saying, you know what, I'm going to remain single. I'm just going to work for myself. I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to enjoy my group of friends. You're starting to plan about your future. You're open to working things out, but you're very, very detached. And that's one of the key factors of manifestation. When you truly become detached, you're going to see how things are going to work out because it comes to you effortlessly. Again, Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. It's not that this business or this situation with your twin flame, it's not that it's finished. It is unfinished, but it's not bothering you the same way that it used to. I feel like on some days it might take a toll on you, but for the most part, you seem to be really grounding yourself. Now, In the near future, dear Cancer, the world here is talking about closure. Someone is initiating a closure here. The world is clarified by the Chariot, honey, in a you, and the you. You know what I'm saying? So that's you, dear Cancer, okay? The Chariot, one of my favorite cards, the Two of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. Again, there is a decision here. There is an initiation that's going to happen. This initiation that's going to happen, dear Cancer, has a lot to do with you trusting your intuition to see if this is really worth investing your time and your energy. You are someone that you get super involved. You get super dedicated when it comes to working things out, when it comes to solving problems, working relationships. I feel like that there is an important conversation that you might be initiating in this situation to really see if this person, if your twin flame has come around to be on the same page to work things out with you. I think it hasn't been easy, clarified by the Four of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Five of Swords. A lot of you also are recognizing, you know, you're no longer afraid of rejection. You're no longer afraid of what if my twin flame rejects me, because you know that there is a lot of unhealed trauma and wounds in your twin flame's life and childhood that has been affecting their ability to function in relationships. So you don't really take it personally, but also you don't let yourself to get involved in it too much. You have the Page of Wands in the near future. So this is an initiation of the idea of how this relationship is going to happen. How is it going to take place for both of you? So let's clarify that. So the Page of Pentacles is Page of Wands is clarified by the Page of Cups, the Six of Cups, and the King of Wands, and you have the Justice, Libra energy. So I think that this relationship carries the potential to bring a solution in the long run, okay, in the end with the Justice. Things, there is a balancing forces here. Things to seem to be really balanced for you. I do see here the strong soul connection that you have with your twin flame, with the Six of Cups. And you know, the twin flame journey, it doesn't always happen that something goes bad and then you guys get disconnected and then you get back together all of a sudden. This is about also a process. It's a journey. It really, you know, the twin flame and a soulmate comes into our lives to also assist in our ascension back to the divine and also accelerate spiritual awakening. So for many of you are realizing that, and you're really playing fair here is what I may say. So there is love coming in, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Temperance. I think you're with due diligence and patience, this relationship is going to get resolved with your twin flame. You got the strength, and it's an alchemical process. It's an alchemization. So let's get the advice, dear Cancer, and see what is it that you need to know. It's a very straight to the point reading, by the way. So your advice, Ace of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Nine of Swords, and you have the Hierophant, Taurus energy. There is commitment that's going to happen between you and your twin flame. And I'm also strongly getting a brand new beginning here, fresh start. I do feel like here that there will be some bumps on the way. You know, I think that you're being asked not to overstress about this situation. This is something that is going to come into like the perfect timing, the perfect moment for you and your twin flame to work things out. There is relationship here in the near future between you and your twin flame on the horizon for you, because I feel like that, you know, in the long run, you're not fully you're not shutting the door on your twin flame's face, although, you know, it's a free will, you can decide to do that, but I think you're wanting to give it a chance because you're very invested into it, but at the same time, you're very detached. Let's see what is the messages of love, dear Cancer. What do you need to know? So you have here and now, and it says your true love is already part of your life, okay? So for many of you, I feel like that you already have met your twin flame if you're watching this, and there is a very strong connection between you and them. So they're a part of your life now, and they're also they're in your life for a reason, okay? So let's see what are some of the important prompts and questions that you need to look into. Which love song best describes our relationship? That's a good question to ask. Mine is Drunk in Love by Beyonce. The second one, describe a situation where you lost trust in someone close to you. That's someone who probably had like subliminal agendas. Someone who had like agendas or secret agendas or whatever towards me, I lost trust in that person. When do you feel most seen and understood in a relationship? When a Cancer asks this question, you better answer. When do you feel most seen and understood in a relationship? Words of affirmations, physical touch, love, hugs. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very profound for a relationship, you know? So those are the 3 questions that I had, dear Cancer, that you may want to really look into. This is what I had for you. I hope that this reading helped. Love you so much. The reason why this reading got, it's straight to the point also. But I'm also, navigating through some of these days and just making sure I'm well rested as well. So I still decided to come out here and to serve and sleep. I'm doing really amazing. I've also been hitting the gym real hard. So like I'm growing my muscles even more, and it's requiring me to make sure that I'm prioritizing sleep, rest, work, right? And I want to thank you for your patience. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all so, so much, dear Cancers, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye. Come on. I just want to say bye.